All right. Okay, so I welcome every one of us to Career Consulting. Career Consulting is a young, thriving, and dynamic global training institution with an international reputation for combining world-class leading research with a personal experience. I am particularly delighted that you considered career consulting as the next step for your future. We have passion to meeting your learning needs. Our values reflect in all we do with foundation in excellence framework. I am definite that you would get value for your time here today. You can visit us on www.careerconsulting.com or call the number on the screen right now for more inquiry. Thank you so much for joining us today. I particularly am glad having you on this webinar today. Okay, so I hope you're seeing my screen. Please, if you can see my screen, type yes. If you can read my screen, type yes. Type yes if you can read my screen. I need to be sure everybody is carried along. I need to be sure everybody is carried along. Thank you. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Golden. Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. Amazing people. Thank you. All right. I just needed to be sure you are reading my screen so that you don't miss out on anything. So today we'll be discussing very quickly on redefine yourself. Redefine yourself. It's a journey of self-discovery. Redefine yourself, a journey of self-discovery. So if you are ready, let's dive into the discussion. Okay, so a brief profile on me. I'm Dr. Chris Udofia, the MD CEO of Career Consulting. I'm a leadership and personal development consultant. I have helped and inspired thousands of people through ministry work as a pastor. I run mentoring and coaching programs. I have created and invested in different businesses that matter to me. I am a proud protege of Dr. Sam Adeyemi, Jack Welch, John Maxwell, Bob Proctor, Miles Monroe, Jim Rohn, Stephen Covey, Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy, and other notable influencers. I have been influenced by all of these men that I mentioned and a quite handful of others. I train executives, business owners, churches, individuals, and entrepreneurs on how to grow their businesses, improve on their leadership skills, and connect with their higher self. Those that have been following me would know this is the part I love so well when I have to introduce myself. I am happily married. When I say happily, I mean happily. I mean, happily married. Okay. All right. So I'm happily married to the most beautiful woman I have ever met in the world. Her name is Christy, and our marriage is blessed with two fantastic, two amazing, energetic, blessed, and faithful children, Carissa and Ruel. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Dr. Chris Udofia. That is just the brief you need to know about me at the moment. Thank you so much for joining us today. God bless you. All right, so we will be diving in on today's discussion, and I'm starting with understanding who you are, understanding you. We want to look at a few things about, remember the subject of this webinar is redefine yourself. So we start with understanding you, and we look at how to be clear why you are here. You need to be clear why you are here. What were you born to do? take responsibility for yourself. And then we look at decide what you want. How do you decide what you really want? We need to look at stop living someone else's dream. Most people are living somebody else's dream without even knowing. So we'll be looking at how to stop living somebody else's dream. Most people, even the job you are doing, if you are asked why doing what you're doing right now, you may not even have a clear answer on those. We'll be discussing all of that today. And then we'll look at don't sell out, don't compromise. And on that, we'll also discuss reconnect with your true self. How do you reconnect with your true self? The third point we'll be looking at today is transform yourself. How do you transform yourself? We look at transcend your limiting beliefs. We look at redefine time. And then we look at build your success team. And finally on that, finally on that, we look at find a wing to climb. Find a wing to climb. So these are what we will be discussing today as time would permit us. I'm going to start with a quote from one of my most revered mentors. And the quote is, "Nothing changes in life until you change. Nothing changes in life until you change." So if you want to experience any fantastic, phenomenal change, then you must be the change. Until you change, nothing changes. If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what? They have planned for you. Nothing. They have nothing planned for you. So if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you will fall into someone else's plan. You don't want to be under the influence of another man's plan. You want to take ownership of your life. You want to take ownership of yourself. You want to be in charge of your life. Because if you don't, truth is, you're going to be living someone else's script. You're going to be a character scripted by someone else. And that's not the life you want to live, because it's not going to be a meaningful, successful, and significant life. And the third quote I have from Jim Rohn is, "Don't wish life was easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems. Wish you had more skills." Wow. Don't wish for less challenge. Wish for more wisdom. This is amazing. This is fantastic. This is mind-boggling. This changed my life. When I met Jim Rohn, at the time I met him, my life took on a new course entirely. Everything about me changed. It changed my mindset, my mind shift, my everything just took a new turn. Why? Because I met this man, and he's been a blessing to me. One of the things I learned from him is the third quote I gave to you, which says, "Don't wish life was easier." Most of you are praying, trusting that someday, everything is just going to be easy. No, it's not. It's not. Particularly those of us in this part of the country, Nigeria to Spain. You know what we are going through here. You can see how the economy is just nosediving on a daily basis. It's not going to get any easy. It's not. All you need to do is to get even better. Become a better you. Become an improved version of you. Become a revised you. That is one of the reasons why we bring you here for meetings like this, so that it can help add value to you and help you navigate through the course of life. Never wish life was easier. You should rather become better. Don't wish for less problems, because there will always be problems. There will always be problems. Please take note, there will always be problems. And I don't know if you know, okay, that the Holy Book also made it very clear. Of course, you know I'm a pastor, so you can't take that away from me. You will permit me, I'm going to quote some scriptures during the course of this presentation. Just permit that, all right? So I'm not being insensitive to the different faiths that are on this call today. I'm not being insensitive. I just want you to know that from the Holy Book, that made us to have a clear picture and understanding of this subject matter. It says, man born of a woman is of few days, but full of trouble, full of trouble. If the Holy Book says that, then why pray against what the Holy Book had said? You can't be praying against the Holy Book. So never wish for less problems, never wish for less challenges. All you need to do is to increase the skills you have. Your skill sets, you should increase them. If you've had a skill, make it 2. If you've had 2, make it 3. If you've had 3, make it 4. Just keep increasing your skill set. It will help you stay ahead of the waters so that you don't drown. So ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to this session as we begin to explore some deeper truth about the subject matter. Let's start with the first, understanding you. If you are asked, who are you? I bet you, and I put it to you, I mean to say, I put it to you that most of you are going to misjive. If I ask, who are you? What would you say? Do you really understand who you are? You think you do? Oh, no, not. Until you understand you. There is something about you. There is something special, unique, different, fantastic, energizing about you that you must understand. And most of us are so ignorant of this truth. There is a part of you that is lost within you, a part of you that is lost inside of you, and you need to get that back on track. You need to understand who you are. You need to be clear why you are here on earth. Must you be alive today? Must you? Have you ever thought of it? Must you even be alive? It's not a right that you're alive. And it's not because you are better than those who were dead. 1,000 times no. So if you are alive today, if you are here today, if you are awake today, why are you awake? Why did you have to wake up? Why are you here? What were you born to do? Have you figured that out? Have you started taking responsibilities for yourself? Have you started taking ownership of your life? Who is in charge of your life? Who drives you? What drives you? Let's get a quick answers to all of these questions. Let's start with, who are you? Who are you? Tell me in one word, who are you? Type it in the chat room right now. I need everybody to participate on this. Tell me, who are you? If you are asked, who are you? What would you say you really are? Yes, I need some interactions. Get talking to me in the chat room right now. Yes, please. I need to read your comments, your feedback on who you really are. Talk to me, please. I need to start reading your comments in the chat room right now. Thank you. Awesome. Tom says, I'm a child of God. Amazing. Good one there, Tom. Thank you so much. I'm a child of God. Of course, I'm a child of God too. Amazing. Amazing. Yes, please. Talk to me. Let me read more from you. I'm a child of God. Yes, I need to read more. I need to read more. Talk to me. 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 Yes, I know you're typing. I need to get those responses. I need to start getting them. Yes, 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 yes. I'm not going any further if I'm not reading anything from you. All right. Joyce says, I'm God's child, created to be loved by him and to live out his purpose. Amazing. Amazing, Joy. Thank you. Redme says, I am an image of God designed to fulfill his purpose for my life. Awesome. Awesome. Redme. Redme, I need to know who you are. Redme is not your name, so I don't want to call you by what you are not. So please, can you quickly change that name and put your name there? Yes, because names are powerful. Yes, names are powerful. So I don't want to call you by what you are not. So it's one of those things you're going to learn during the course of this session, why the importance of name. I'm going to be sharing all of those during this session, the importance of name. So I'm a child of God. I am an image of God designed to fulfill his purpose for my life. I am God's child created to be loved by him and to live out his purposes. I'm a child of God. Everybody's just a child of God. Why wouldn't I also be a child of God? I'm also a child of God. Okay, somebody says, I am the arm of God stretched out to human in my time. Awesome. Galaxy S9. Galaxy, please change that name. I need to call you by your name. I need to address you by your name, not by your phone name. Okay, because names are powerful. So I don't want to go against what I teach. Names are powerful. Names are prophecies. Understand that names are prophecies. So each time they call you by your name, they are prophesying into your life. All right. So I am the arm of God stretched out. Okay. Jimo Olalere says, excuse me, I am a problem solver. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. And another person here by this title, Infinix Hot, says, I am the light of the world. Wow. I think I have a lot of church folks here, man. Hey, I think we are having church, right? You're making me feel like we are having church. All right. The light of the world. I'm a problem solver. Okay. Amazing responses, if you ask me. Amazing responses. Amazing responses. Mr. Golden says, I'm a team player who's focused and goal-oriented. Fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Golden. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So now let's break it down. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Who are you? This is one of the most challenging questions ever asked man. It's so imperative that man does not even know who he is. And that still happens today, that we still don't know who we are. Yes, we don't know who we are. Our true identity is found when we stop being who we are. Please take note of that. You need to stop being who you are right now. Because who you are right now is not who you really are. I'm not trying to be contradictory to my statements, Please listen to me very clearly because we are beginning to dive a little deeper into the deep sea. Now, who you are is not who you really are. And it's not who you really should be. Who you are right now is not who you really should be. Because our identity is found when we stop being who we are. Our identity, I need to stress that because I need something to break off your mind. I need you to break into this truth. I need you to break into this reality. I need you to break into this revelation. I need you to break into this insight. I need you to break into this transformation. And it has to happen now. Your true identity is found when you stop being who you are. You think you are who you are, but that is not who you truly are. You need to start becoming who you were created to be. You can see the difference now. Start becoming who you were created to be, because who you were created to be is different from who you are right now. There are two different persons in one body. Two different persons in one body. And you don't want to continue life that way. You need to find a new alignment. You need to find a new direction. You need to find a new course, chapter, a new course, a new pattern for your life. And start living a significant life based on the purpose of your creation. Who are you? Do you really understand who you are? Please take this down. This is for your notes. You can't be anything you want to be in life. Have you heard? Somebody told you you can be anything you want to be in life. But that's a lie. You can't just be anything. It's not possible. You were not born, you were not created to be anything. That's a lie you were told, and you believed that lie. You held on to that lie, and that made you who you are right now. But you need to redefine that right now. That has to be redefined. You can't be anything you want to be in life. You can only be everything you already are. Everything you already are. Whatever you were created to be, you already are that thing. Whoever you were created to be, you already are that thing. So stop wanting to be anything less what you already have been. You are not going to become something else when you've already become, when you were created to be something different. So becoming anything is not what you really want. It's a no-no right now. So tell yourself you can't be anything. You just want to be everything you already are. Everything you already are. You need to redefine that thing you already are. Then connect with it and stop wanting to be anything else. You have a unique power inside of you right now. There's a unique power. There's an energy. There's a vibration inside of you right now. It came with you when you were born. It's never going to leave you even till death. Okay? That energy that you came with, that vibration that you came with is never going to leave you. Don't be told anything different than this. You came loaded with so much power, so much energy, so much vibration. Don't lose that vibration to becoming something else. That superpower that is right inside of you right now It's just there inactive. It's staying there inactive. You need to activate that power. There is a power inside of you. There is a power inside of you. And that power is just there, inactive. It is not because you are unqualified to use that superpower. It is just because you are unexperienced to use it. You are just unexperienced. You are just unexperienced to using that ability. There's an ability in you. There is something unique, something powerful. There is an amazing potential inside of you that you need to tap into. And that's one of the reasons for this webinar, to help you tap into that ability that is right inside of you and then start using it to your advantage. There is an ability with you. You are full of ability. You are full of superpowers. Just like you have all of these heroes you watch growing up. You know, you have Superman, you have Spider-Man, and you have quite a lot of them. And particularly now, you have different superheroes, okay, that our children watch in their cartoons. Okay, so all these people, they have their own special abilities. And guess what they do with these abilities? They don't use, a Superman does not use his superpowers to himself. He uses his superpowers to help people. So that should tell you something, that whatever you were born for has to do with you serving humanity. Whatever that superpower is for you to serve humanity with it. So don't die a lone ranger. Don't want to save yourself alone. You were born to save the world. And when I mean the world, it is not the whole earth. There is a fraction of the world that is meant for you. Everyone has a piece of the world. Yes, we all have a piece of the world. You can't save the whole world. You are not Jesus Christ. Okay? Only Jesus Christ came to die for the whole world. Okay? So you are not Jesus Christ. You didn't come here to die for the whole world. But there is a fraction of the world. There's a piece of the world that your influence is supposed to reach and impact on this fraction of that world and change it, impact it, inspire it for the good of mankind. And that ability is still inside of you right now. You need to get in touch with it. You need to tap into that power. You need to tap into that ability. Your superpower is the ability that comes naturally with you. Whatever you touch should become better than when you got it. If you touch anything, it should be better. Your hand should multiply things. Your hand should become a Midas touch. That when you touch something, when you touch a silver, it should become gold. When you touch a bronze, it should become silver. Whatever you touch should be better than when you got it. There is that ability inside of you right now as we speak. And for those under the influence of my voice right now, you will begin to have that vibration. There is a vibration going on within you right now, and it's trying to awaken that super ability. It's trying to awaken that power that is inside of you right now. And I challenge you to let that vibration work. Let that vibration take its full course. Don't stop it. Don't try to resist it. Let it flow. Let it flow. Allow it. This could be your Kairos moment. This could be that time for you that will make the difference happen for the rest of your life. This could be your history moment. Don't try to fight it. For whatever reason that you are here means it is time for you to advance your course, advance your life, redefine the course of your life going forward. Still on understanding your true self. There are a lot of people under identity crisis. 1,001 people under identity crisis. An identity crisis is defined as a period of uncertainty or confusion in a person's life. A moment of uncertainty. A lot of people are still under this uncertainty. They are still confused. I talk to people and they tell me, Doctor, I am confused. I don't know what to do. I don't know what next to do. I'm confused. Please, can you help me? I don't know if any of you are still under this identity crisis. Today, you are redefining all of those. I bring you good news, and I can assure you that all of those is taking a new turn. This crisis occurs when a person's sense of identity becomes insecure and unstable. When you are so insecure of yourself, insecure of the future, insecure of the unknown, insecure of everything and anything. An identity crisis usually occurs when there is a change in a person's life. An identity crisis can happen at any time. I have been there. I have been there. And I had to redefine myself at a point. As a matter of fact, the first book I read that changed my life is a book written, the title of the book is Keeping Your Dreams Alive. Keeping Your Dreams Alive. I read that book far back, I think I was in GSS 3 or so, GSS 2, GSS 3, when I read that book, Keeping Your Dreams Alive. And that book changed everything about me. I started finding ways of keeping my dreams alive. There is a dream you were born to fulfill. Do you even know this dream? Are you living with this understanding? Are you living with this understanding? Okay, author by Matthew Ashimolowo. Matthew Ashimolowo, that's the author of the book, Keeping Your Dreams Alive. All right, so you need to find what this is about. And then there's another thing, identity role. A lot of people are fighting their identity role. When you start questioning who you are with regards to a certain life aspect, such as relationships, your age, your career, a lot, you're welcome. You're welcome, Joy. All right, so you are experiencing great personal conflict due to the questioning of who you are or your role in the society, your identity role. And particularly now that we have a lot of identity crisis and identity roles going on, you know, a lot of things have changed in our time. A lot of things have changed. Now there are laws to back up people wanting to change their identity. They want to, you want to change, you just wake up one morning and you feel you don't want to be a man, you want to be a woman. You feel you are supposed to be a woman. Okay, you are supposed. I feel for this generation. All of this is a function of identity crisis in our time. Just wake up one morning. I don't know if you've been following the trend, if you've been following the news. Now in the UK and in some part of Canada, a lot of lawsuits are going on right now. In fact, I watched a documentary a while ago. I'll try to see if I can get that documentary and play it here next week, because we still have next week to finish up this discussion. And somebody came and sued the doctor that did it, that changed his genitals. Okay, change his genetics, sued that doctor. He said that doctor should have told him better, and sued the what's it called? The what's this called now? The psychologist that canceled him, okay, and sued the psychologist, the counselor, and then sued the doctor, that they should have told him better. They should have known better. It's all about identity crisis. A lot is happening in our time. Identity crisis every day. And one of the things identity crisis will do is to bring you to a point of confusion, bring you to a state of disorder, and bring you to a point whereby you are frustrated, you are disappointed, and the next thing you want to do is you are contemplating suicide. They are all function of identity crisis. And we need to get out of this as quickly as we possibly can, because a lot of people are under this challenge and we need to help save the day. We need to help save the day. I have a quote from the Holy Book, which I'm going to give us in a short while. And I'm reading from Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. Permit me to read this, please. It says, before I formed you in the belly. Awesome. Thank you, Nkechi Vivian. Thank you for being honest with this. Thank you. Thank you. Nkechi Vivian says, I think I'm currently at the point of identity crisis and role. Thank you so much. Thank you for being honest with this. Thank you. And I trust that this session is going to help you redefine yourself, because that is the purpose of this webinar, to help you redefine who you are. Okay, you are not what the society says you are. You are not who you are. Who you are right now is not who you are. And you cannot be anything you want to be. You can't be anything you want. You know, somebody will just wake up and say, I want to be a man. I want to be this. I want to be that. I want to be a doctor. No, as much as it is good to go to school and study, it's fine. Okay, but that is not who you are. There is more to your profession. There is more to your profession. You must understand it. Okay, there is more to your profession. I'm still coming to that. You know, a lot of people mistake their profession as their true identity. 1,000 times no. 1,000 times no. Your profession is something different. It's something different. Your true identity is what you were created to become. And that is what you must connect with. You must connect with it. Don't hide yourself. Don't lose yourself in your profession, in your career. No, don't. Find yourself. Redefine yourself. This scripture says, before I formed you in the belly, I knew you. Before you came forth out of the womb, I sanctified you. So that's to tell you that your purpose was first intended before you were created. You wouldn't have been created if there were no purpose for you to fulfill. If there was nothing for you to do, then there was no point you coming at all in the first place. So, purpose created you. Please, can you type that in? Purpose created me. Purpose created me. You were created because there is a purpose you were created to do. Purpose created me. Can you say that to yourself? Purpose created me. Thank you, Joy. Purpose created me. Yes, you came because there was a purpose. There was a purpose. There was an assignment. Then you came to fulfill that. And guess what? Nobody else will do whatever you were created to do. It will remain undone until creation is over. It will remain undone because only you can do what you were created to do. You are the Lord of yourself. in that world that you were created to occupy. Okay? In that fraction of the entire globe, everybody has a piece of the world. Please take note of that. Everyone has a piece of the world. So you must find where your piece in the world is. Find out what that piece is, and then begin to be more purposeful about that. Take responsibilities for yourself. You can't change yesterday. You can't change seasons. You can't change circumstances. You can't even change others. But guess what? You can only change yourself. So stop troubling yourself with what you cannot change. A lot of you are trying to change yesterday. You're trying to change your past. You're trying to change what has happened. You're trying to change circumstances. You're trying to change others. You can't even change others. You can only inspire and influence others. Please take note. You cannot change people, but you can inspire people and then influence people. But to change them, it is their sole responsibility to change themselves. Stop the blame game. You need to begin to take responsibility for yourself. Stop the blame game. Stop blaming your parents. Stop blaming your bosses. Stop blaming your friends. Stop blaming the government. Yes, stop blaming the government. Stop blaming the media. Stop blaming your spouse. Stop blaming the economy. Stop blaming anyone else but you. We usually never want to look at where the problem is ourselves. The problem is not outside of us. The problem is within us. So you need to look back inside of you and find where you can begin to correct. You must stop looking outside yourself for the answers to why you haven't created the life and result you want. You have to create the quality of the life you want to lead and the result you want to produce. No one is responsible for the outcome of your life but you. Now, I have a little formula that I need to quickly put across to us, and that is E plus R is equals to 0. E plus R is equals to 0. So if you can get this formula, you are done for today. If you can just get this formula, E plus R is equals to 0. E plus R is equals to 0. Please, can you type that in the chat room right now? I need to read it in the chat room. E plus R is equals to 0. Yes, please. I need to start reading. One, to be sure you are following up. Yes, I need to read that to be sure you are following me up, and then to be sure you can read the screen. You can see my screen. Yes, please. I need to read that. E plus R is equals to 0. E plus R is equals to 0. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Now, let me break this down. Event plus response is equals to outcome. Event plus response is equals to outcome. Now, how does this come to play? There will always be events in our lives. There will always be events in our lives. You can't stop the events from happening. Oh, you cannot stop them from happening. But you can always work on your response, because whatever response you give to whatever event will determine the outcome. So, in every event of your life, what are your responses? What are your responses? That is the determining factor to getting the outcome. So a lot of us are putting the blame on the event, putting the blame on the outcome, not minding what your responses has always been. You need to play down on this. 2 things to do if you don't like any outcome. If you don't like any outcome of your life, whatever that outcome is, if you don't like it, there are 2 things you must do. Number 1, blame the event for your lack of results. Blame the event for the outcome. So most people blame the event of their lives for the outcomes of their lives. They blame the event for the outcome. And they left something out, which is the determining factor. The second thing you need to know is that you can change your response to the event until you get the outcomes you want. So these are the 2 things you can always do to any outcome of your life. So whatever, begin to look at your life right now. Take a close look at who you are right now, the outcome of your life, the result, where you found yourself, okay? And begin to play back on the events that brought you here, because events and response determines the outcome. Events and response determine the results. So what were your responses to those events? Can you begin to play back on those? If you can play back on those responses and see how you can take responsibility to changing some of those responses that you can change in the now, then you will start seeing a different outcome in the next future, in the next days ahead. So your responses are the most important thing in any event of your life. The response. How are you responding to the events of your life? Everything you think, you say, and you do needs to become intentional and align with your purpose, your values, and your goals. Everything you think, everything you say, and everything you do needs to become intentional and align with your purpose, your values, and your goals. Take note of that, very important. And I'm going to wrap this session up with this statement. If you don't like your outcomes, please change your responses. If you don't like the outcome, change your responses. You don't like the outcome of your relationships, find out what your responses has been in that relationship. You don't like the outcome of the relationship you have with your spouse, check out what your responses has been to your spouse. You don't like the outcome of your children, check what your responses has been to your children. You don't like the responses, the outcome of the relationship you have with your boss, check what the response has been in the time past. So whatever, begin to have a playback right now. Your response. I'm sure nobody has told you this. Your response. You need to pay attention to how you are responding. You are responding to things in a way that is producing the outcome you are not happy about right now. So you need to take responsibility of yourself. Take responsibility of the responses that you give to every event that happens in your life. Okay. And before I go to that next point, before I go to that next point, I I want to give you a quick story about myself, how I was able, at a point in time of my life, how I was able to change and redefine me. I was very young at the time, and I left school. I left secondary school far back, 1996, 1996, 97, thereabouts. And after school, I I struggled to get into school, as in I struggled to get into university, and then it affected everything about me. I did everything I can. I did jam. Okay, I think I did jam almost four times, and I had admission twice. I had admission twice, but I couldn't go to school. I couldn't get into school. Why? Because I I didn't have the resources for it. And there was nobody around me to help me out with that. My mom was struggling to take care of five of us. We were five boys. Five boys. Our house, we used to call it boys hostel or boys quarters. Five of us. And I lost my dad when I was 10 years old. So we have a single mother taking care of five boys. And then just 2 years after my father died, my mom lost a job. She was relieved of her job. So you can imagine what life was to us then. And then we struggled. We tried everything. I did all I could do to make sure at least I gained admission. I had two different admissions. One, an admission to a polytechnic school. Two, an admission to a university program. And I couldn't go any further. There was a limiting factor on my life. And what happened next? I had to take on a different course. I took on a different course. I started living with someone I call my father, my mentor right now. He became a father figure to me. And the best he could offer me was what he offered me. So I lived with him for 13 years. While my friends were going to school, I was somewhere for 13 years doing nothing. And don't get me wrong, I wasn't just there doing nothing. I was there occupied with something else. Instead of going to school, okay, to further my academics, my education, I went a different course. I was doing something else. Don't ask me, today is not the time for that, something else. So I was doing something else at the time. And then for 13 years, after 13 years, 13 to some, it was a 13 wasted years. And I suddenly woke up one morning. Okay. The book I had read came back to me, Keeping Your Dreams Alive. Okay. And all those things, the nugget I picked from the book started disturbing me after 13 years. And as I begin to give attention, an awakening, an awareness to these nuggets, it was resonating with the thing inside of me. And a vibration was going out of me. Before you know it, I attracted into my life at the time. I attracted into my life at the time a friend. A friend just came by. How he came by, I don't know. This is somebody, the last time I met this young guy was when we were in primary 6. That was the last time I met this young man. I met him by the name Akim. Akim is his name. We were in primary school together. After primary school, you know, they took us to secondary schools. Okay, so the secondary school they posted us to, I did not go to that secondary school. I took a transfer to a different secondary school close by to the house because of transportation. Okay, where we were living, I would need to take transportation to the school they posted us to. So mom was like, no, that's expenses. And then she had to redirect my transfer to a nearby school where I could just have a walk into. So that was the last time I saw Akim. And I didn't see him. I had finished secondary school. I didn't see Akim. I had lived 13 years. I didn't see Akim. But when I began to give attention to that thing inside of me, an energy was emitted. There was a vibration. And I'm going to be talking more on that vibration next week. There was a vibration. How do you stir up that vibration? Those are some of the things I will be discussing next week. So there was a vibration inside of me that attracted Akim wherever Akim was to me. And our path crossed. Have you ever met somebody that said, our path crossed? That's destiny. That's destiny. Okay, so there was a vibration. You need to get to the point where you stir up that vibration in you. If you don't stir it on, if you don't keep yourself energized, nothing tremendous, nothing significant will happen in your life. You need to learn how to stir up that vibration. You need to learn how to stir up that energy, because that is what will make things happen for you. Have you heard people say, I was favored? No, it was that energy. It was that energy that you released. You just released that energy without you knowing. There was a button you pressed that stirred up that energy, and that energy just went into action, and there was a favor. And you said, wow, I was lucky. Wow, I was favored. No, you did something you were not aware of. So now you need to begin to become more conscious and aware. Become aware of these things. That is what makes the difference happen at any time in your life, particularly so when you are at a crossroad in your life. You need to stir up something inside of you. I have a scripture for that. It says there's a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Lord gives him understanding. There's an inspiration that comes from your inside. It's a drive, it's an energy. You need to get yourself to that boiling point that brings out that energy in you. And once that energy is released into the cosmic, is released into the environment, is released into the atmosphere, it travels as far as you possibly can imagine and attract to you the equivalence of that energy. And that was what happened to me. Akim came my path, and then I was in school. The rest is my history right now. I'm not giving you the full story yet, because it's not yet time for me to give the full story. I'm going to have a session for that. I want you to know that if you don't like your outcome, change your responses. That is just what I'm trying to let you know here. If you don't like your responses, if you don't like your outcomes, change your responses. If you don't like what you have around you, change who you are. It's all about you. The change you seek, the answers you seek, the solution you seek, they are not going to be from around you. They are always inside of you. Decide what you want. Decide it. It's a decision you must make. Decide it. What do you really want? You must want to stop living someone else's dream. A lot of you are living somebody's dream. What you are doing right now, you are doing it because somebody influenced you to doing it. You are doing it because someone told you to do it. You are doing it because you want to get money for doing it. If that is a reason why you are doing what you're doing, I'm sorry. You are not living the life you were created to live. Don't sell out, don't compromise. Reconnect with your true self. That's what we'll be discussing in this session. What do you really want? What is it that you really want? Can you discuss with me? Can you interact with me? What do you want in life? Let me ask you. Yes, put it in the chat room. What do you really want? What do you want? If I can give you what you want, what would that thing be? Please discuss with me. Let's interact. What do you really want? Yes, let's get talking. What do you really want? I need to know what you want. Yes, talk to me, please. What do you want? You want money? You want house? Want to live in a house of your own? You want to drive your own dream car, Ferrari. You want to drive Bentley. Okay, you want to drive Mercedes, okay? Or you want to drive Tesla. What is it that you really want? Talk to me. Please type in the chat room. Let me know what you really want. What do you really want? Please, let's discuss. What do you really want? Yes, please, keep it coming. Keep it coming. All right. To live in line with my purpose. Amazing. That's a smart one there. That's a smart one from the title Infinix Hot. Yes, Joy says, I want a life of fulfillment. Fulfillment to me is a life that pleases God and serves humanity. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, talk to me. What do you really want? What do you really want? Tom says, a godly, good, peaceful, prosperous life that serves God and humanity. Amazing. 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 Thank you. Thank you. All right. While others are still typing, let's get discussing. But please keep typing. I need to read what you really want. Please keep typing. What do you really want? People usually don't get what they want, not because they cannot get it, but because they have not decided what they want. I don't know if you're getting this. You are not getting what you want from life or in life, not because you can't get it, but because you've not decided yet what you really want. You haven't defined your desires in a clear and compelling details. You've not. And that's why you're not getting what you want. What you want has to be properly defined. You need to come with a clear and a compelling detail about what you want. How bad do you want what you want? How bad do you want it? I know of a story of a young man that went to his mentor one day and told his mentor, I want to be as successful as you are. What must I do? The man looked at him and did not say anything. He said, sir, please teach me how I can be as successful as you are. The man didn't answer him again. The man was just thinking with his head bowed and just nodding his head. And he looked at the boy I said, what was your question again? The guy said, I want to be as successful as you are. I'm willing to learn. Please, can you teach me? And the man said, okay, follow me. And the man stood with his walking stick, and the boy followed. And the man walked round, took him through the swimming pool in his compound, in his house. And then he said, just keep following me. And the boy was following. And they were walking around the swimming pool. They were walking around the swimming pool. And while they were walking around the swimming pool, the man asked him again, you asked a question. The boy said, yes, sir. He said, what's that question? And the boy said, you are a very successful man. And I envy that success. I want to live that kind of dream. I want to live that kind of life. I want to be as successful as you are. Please, what can I do? I need you to teach me. I need you to mentor me. And the man said, that's fine. Just keep following me. Just keep following me. And as they were just walking around the pool, walking around the pool, walking around the pool, walking around the pool, all of a sudden, the old man just pushed the young boy into the pool. And the guy, he was not a good, he has never learned swimming. Okay, so he didn't know how to swim. So he was just there, trying to find out how he can come out of the pool. And then before you knew it, when the man saw that the guy really needs help, he now asks his guys, his men, to bring him out. And they brought him out of the water. And immediately came out of the water, he was just gasping. You want to kill me? You want to kill me? You want to kill me? The man was just laughing and said, what was your question again? What was your question again? The guy was angry. The guy was angry at this point. And the guy didn't know what to do. He said, I asked you in tears. I asked you, I want to be as successful as you are. And you try to murder me by pushing me into the pool so that I can drown. The man looked at him and said, son, are you sure you want to be successful? He said, yes. He said, I wasn't trying to kill you. What happened when you were inside that pool? What mattered to you at that point? What was the only thing that mattered to you at that point? And he said, how to survive. Survival was all that mattered to him at that point. He said, good. He said, when you came out of that water, what was the first thing that mattered to you? He said he was just gasping for breath. The only thing that mattered to him was breath, how to catch enough breath to survive. He said, now you find the answer to the question you asked me. The first answer is, whatever it is you want must be the only thing that matters to you. It must be the only thing that matters to you. It must be the only thing that matters to you. You must stay on that one thing. Stay on that one. Be focused on that one thing, because that's the only thing that matters to you. The only thing that matters to you. Stay on that one thing. So the question is, what is that one thing that matters to you? And the second answer was, until you gasp for that thing, that one thing, like you gasp for breath, you will never get it. So those were the two answers given to the young boy, but he had to experience it. He had to experience it. So these are some of the things that you need to understand when we're dealing with issues like this. What is that one thing that matters to you? And the question next is, how bad do you want it? Until you gasp for success, the way you gasp for breath, you will never achieve that success. I don't know if you're getting this. Did that story help anybody? Please, do me a chat. If it helped anybody, just type yes. If that story helped anybody, just type yes. Awesome, Joy. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tom. Thank you. Thank you. So the question is, what do you really want? What do you really want? What do you really want? There is a tiny seed inside each of us. That seed was what you were meant to be. That's what you were meant to become. Unfortunately, we bury this seed in response to our parents. We bury this seed in response to our teachers. We bury this seed in response to our coaches and other adult role model as you were growing up. That seed was buried. You buried them in others. You buried your destiny in others. You buried your future in others. You handed over your future to somebody else. You took that seed and tried to plant that seed in a different environment. That's wrong. That's why you are who you are today. If you take the fish out of the water, the fish dies. If you take the bird from the air and cage the bird dies. The power in him, the ability in him becomes inactive. So, environment matters to you. Where do you find yourself? The environment you find yourself, is it enabling to help stir up the energy, the drive in you, the vibration you are? See, you are meant to emit energy 24/7. You are meant to emit energy and vibration every second that ticks. You are meant to allow it to flow. That's what keeps you active. But a lot of us are latent. We are just there, passive, flat. You started out as a baby knowing exactly what you wanted. You knew when you were hungry. You spit out foods you didn't like and devoured the ones you liked. You had no trouble expressing your needs and wants. You simply cried loudly with no holding back until you got what you wanted. You crawled around, moving towards whatever caught your interest without any fear. But somewhere along the way, someone said to you, don't touch that. Stay away from there. Stop crying. Have you heard, growing up, we heard this a lot. Boys don't cry. They told us, boys don't cry. You know, I told you my mother had 5 boys, you know, and they keep telling us, boys don't cry. And that sank in. That stayed with us, that boys don't cry. And that killed our emotions. We suppressed our emotions because we were told boys don't cry. You can't have everything you want simply because you wanted it. Did you hear something like that growing up? In fact, they told us if we wanted something, they would tell us, you are going to be a thief. a lot of things we heard growing up. You are going to be, this boy is going to be a thief. And you want such a thing. You need a lot of things happened to us growing up. And that changed the narrative for us. They told us money don't grow on trees. They told us a lot. Stop doing that. Stop doing this. This is what you are supposed to be doing. That is what you are supposed to be doing. They dictated and gave us a different concept of what we were supposed to be doing. They defined us for us just because they were privileged at that time. And we were vulnerable to this privilege that they had. And that made us to grow into something else, something different from that baby you that you wanted to. Can you just imagine if you had grown up with that audacity? Have you ever seen a baby trying to crawl to catch a fire, to touch the candlelight? Have you ever seen a baby trying to hold the electricity? He was fearless. What if you had grown into your adulthood fearless? Nothing holding you back. Can you imagine what you would have achieved? But they put that restraint, that limitation on you. They told you, hey, in this part of the world, there are restraints. There are limitations. And you believed that. And that affected every other thing about you. But I've got good news for you. You need to stop living all of those. Whatever they were, you need to stop living all of those. Many people lost touch with who they were as a result of all these sanctions placed on them, and somehow got stuck trying to figure out what other people wanted them to do. We started to live with the option of anything else just because you wanted their approval innocently. We go to school to study a course because that's what your parent wanted you to study. We got married to please people. A lot. We get a job instead of chasing our dreams. We do things just to impress others. Ask yourself, why are you doing whatever it is that you are doing right now? And be sincerely true to yourself. And you found that you have been living somebody else's dream. It would be interesting to know that you are doing whatever it is you are doing right now, not because you really wanted to, but life happened to you. Stop living someone else's dream. You will never be happy living someone else's dream. You will never live a fulfilling and a significant life living other people's dreams. You will never be at your best living on someone else's timeline. You will lose your creativity, originality, if you are not living your dreams. The question you should ask yourself at this point, if I am you, who will be me? If I am you, who will be me? You must find a way to live your life without any externally interference. I have another quote for you from Songs of Solomon chapter 1 and verse 6. It says, do not stare at me because I am dark. This scripture changed it for me. It changed everything for me. It just gave me a shift. It says, do not stare at me because I am dark, because I am darkened by the sun. My mother's sons were angry with me and made me to take care of the vineyards. My own vineyard I had to neglect. How many of you are living somebody else's dream that your dream has been neglected? How true the scripture is. How true. Please get back, connect with your dream. Connect with your dream. Get back and start living your dream, because there is no good in living someone else's dream. The question you should ask, I had to challenge the status quo and change the narratives. When I got this scripture, when I encountered this scripture, this was a question I threw to myself at that point. If I am you, who will be me? What happened to me if I am you? I never wish to become like anybody. Yes, I can be inspired and influenced by their works, but I can never wish to be them. Because if I want to be them, who would be me? When will I start living my own life? When will I start becoming me? So the scripture changed it for me. So all of those that held me bound, that held me captive, I just broke out of those, because it is time for me to start living my dream. It is time for me to tell myself who I really am. Ask yourself, if I am you, who will be me? Most people say, in fact, you should, can't you just be like me? Or some people are like, I want to be like him. No, you can't be like him. Who will be you? I think that's a word for somebody. Okay? All right. Awesome. Thank you. This is a very fantastic testimonial. Nkechi says, I was watching a video this morning about pleasing others and not doing anything to yourself. It cut deep into me and I was crying, asking God, why am I going through this? Truly, this webinar is timely. This is amazing for me. Thank you so much, Nkechi. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please, you may want to talk to me after now, okay? Just talk to me after now. Let's take it off from there. God bless you. You must find a way to live your life without any external interference. Find a way to live your life. Find a way to live your life. Nobody owe you anything. Settle that at the back of your mind. I was living a life waiting for someone to take responsibility for me for 13 years. I was expecting the man I was living with to be responsible for my life. And it did not happen for 13 years until I woke up to the awareness. And I told myself, I will no longer neglect my own vineyard. I need to be responsible for myself. Wake up to the reality of this truth. Nobody owe you anything. Nobody. No matter how much you gave to them in the past, they still don't owe you anything. You were only serving humanity at the time. See it that way, and you will never have to live in hurt the rest of your life. That is the only way you can heal yourself. See whatever service, whatever sacrifice you have given to others in the past, see it as you serving humanity and move on. If you truly understand the concept of service, you will understand what I'm talking about. I think I will also discuss a little on that next week, Saturday. All right, as we come to a close, okay, we begin to wrap up. Don't sell out and don't compromise. If you're going to re-own your life, you have to stop saying things like, I don't know, I don't care, it doesn't matter to me, or the current slang these days, whatever. If you must own your life, then you must begin to change your language. Start with changing your language. I don't care. Whatever happens, happens. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. Excuse me. If you keep living your life to que sera, sera, you will live in hurt the rest of your life. It is no longer que sera, sera. Whatever would be, would be. A no, 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 no. 1,000 times no. Start acting with preference. Ask yourself, if I did know, what would it be? If I did care, which would I prefer? If it did matter, what would I rather do? Not being clear about what you want and making other people's desire more important than your own is simply a habit. You can break that habit by replacing it with the opposite habit. Flip the coin to your advantage. That's my advice for you. Flip the coin. Flip it to your advantage. Now, let's start with some few nuggets on how to reconnect with yourself. How do you reconnect with your true self? Your true self has to do with your purpose. Understand that. Because it was purpose that created you. Your life began when there was a purpose for your life. So your life wouldn't have been if there were no purpose for it. So when we talk about connecting to your true self, we are talking to you, we are talking to your purpose. Okay, so let's get some nuggets on how to connect, to reconnect with your true self. To reconnect with your true self is to connect with your purpose, like I said, your calling and your life assignment. So number one, you need to know your purpose is not your talent. Your purpose is not your skills. Please take note of that. Your purpose is not your talent. Your purpose is not your skills. You can only employ talent and skills to help you fulfill your purpose. Your purpose is not lost. Have you ever heard people say, I have to discover my purpose. I have to find my purpose. No, purpose is not lost. Purpose was never lost. Purpose can never be lost. Okay? It's not possible for you to lose your purpose. It's not possible because your purpose came with you. Your purpose is not something you must find. It's something you should be aware of. It's something you must become conscious of. And to become conscious of it, you need to subject yourself to deep meditation. I'll discuss on that next week, Saturday. Okay? So don't let me waste time on that. Your purpose is the reason you were born. If there were no purpose, there will not be any you anywhere in this world. Your purpose is not your future. This is another lie we were told growing up. Your purpose is not your future. Okay? Your purpose is not your future. Your purpose is God's past, but your own present. Your purpose is what you live in the now. And when you finish your purpose, you live. You understand what I mean? You die. Okay. And listen to me. Listen to me and listen very well. Some people's purpose is short-lived. Some people's purpose is long-lived. That you live a short life does not mean you did not live a fulfilling life. Okay? So look at the man that ever lived. The man that lived the longest. What's his name now? What's the name now? The man that lived the longest. That's Methuselah. Bible scholar. Yeah, okay. Methuselah. Okay. Can we unmute? Can we mute those voices?
Methuselah.
Methuselah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Methuselah.
Yes, thank you. I got it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Right. So Methuselah is the man that ever lived. Now ask yourself a question. What significant impact did he make in his lifetime? What significant impact did he make in his lifetime? What was recorded about him that he ever did? Nothing. So it's not about how long you live. Look at Jesus Christ. How long did he live? He lived just 33 years, but he lived a fulfilling life. We have quite a number of other heroes and saints who lived a short life, but the Holy Book recorded, the Bible recorded that they lived a fulfilling life. Paul said, I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. I have run the race. At what age? Go and find out. So it's not all about how long you live. Fine, if you had the chance to live that long, congratulations. The question is, did you live a fulfilling life? Did you live a fulfilling life that was intended when you were born? So your purpose is God's past, but your present. Anytime you are done with your purpose, you will not have to live a single day. Go and find out. Those who truly lived their purpose, they did not live a single day after they finished the assignment. When you are done with your assignment, what do? You submit. You submit. So when you are done with your assignment here, you submit your life. You submit it to death. It comes natural. So when you understand this, you know how to manage the emotions of a loved one passing away. I know it's going to hurt, it's going to pain, but then you must understand this. You must understand this. Your purpose is something God has ended that you were born to start. Something God ended, then you were born to start it. So you can understand it now that purpose is not a future thing. You were to start it the day you were born. Yes. That's why you were fearless. But life challenges, circumstances put the limit on you. Life is primarily spiritual. I'm beginning to wrap up this session. So get your questions ready. Life is primarily spiritual. Life is, please understand this. Life is spiritual. Life is spiritual. Life is spiritual. Either you are a Hindu, a herbalist, a pagan, whatever you are, or whoever, whatever religion or faith you practice, you must understand that life is spiritual. And you cannot do life carnally. You must become spiritual to do life. Your purpose is divine. Very, very divine. Your purpose is divine, sacred, spiritual. So you can't have a spiritual life. You can't have a spiritual purpose and want to fulfill it carnally. It's not possible. Yes, it's not possible. If you must get back your life, you must become very spiritual. That is the bottom line. If you are not spiritual, you'll be far from it. You'll be far. That's why a lot of people are struggling to find their purpose. You can't find your purpose with your head knowledge. Your head knowledge can't get it for you because it is something hidden inside of you. Your purpose is in you, locked up inside of you. Your purpose came with you. It's in your DNA. Your purpose is inside your DNA. You don't get this. It's inside of you. So when people say purpose is lost, he has lost his purpose, yeah, you need to go and find his purpose. It's like telling me he has lost his DNA. Do people lose DNA? It's not possible. Your purpose is in your DNA. The way God created you, he wrapped your purpose inside your DNA. So it's the reason why you do what you do the way you do it. So all you need to do is to become aware, spiritually awakened to this truth, to this reality. You need to be spiritually alert. You need to be spiritually alive to this truth, to this reality. That is when you can begin to live that purposeful life. Until you get spiritually awakened, spiritually alive, you will never connect to your true self. It's not possible. Any other person that is successful in life is not living his life, is not living his purpose, is living somebody else's dream, living somebody else's life. He is not connected to his purpose yet. Because for you to be connected to your purpose, you need to be spiritually awake. You need to be spiritually alive. For the natural man does not understand the things of the spirit. You can't want to get in touch with the spiritual naturally or carnally. It's not possible. You must develop your spirituality. You must develop your spiritual self to connect with your true self. I'm going to give you a short story here. I know of a young man who is spiritually awake, spiritually alive, spiritually sensitive, and he's into real estate. He's a realtor, and then he wanted to break into all these high-profile networks, and then somebody introduced him by privilege of relationship and association, introduced him to one high-profile network individual, and then he was privileged to have an appointment with this high-profile individual, and he met with him. And the day he met with this high-profile network individual at his office, the man was angry with himself. Why that? The high-profile network man had to reschedule a meeting with the young man and told him, what I'm telling you is something that happened last year. Okay? It's not something that happened 100 years ago. I'm telling you something that happened last year. I'm just trying to let you understand the place of spirituality in reconnecting with your true self. Your true self is in your spirituality. Please take note of that. Write that in the chat room. Your true self is wrapped up in your spirituality. Your true self is in your spirituality. A lot of you are not spiritual. You are far from being spiritual, and that is why you are not in touch with your true self. Your true self is wrapped up in your spirituality. Please type that in. Your true self is wrapped up in your spirituality. Please, I need to read that chat in right now. I need to read your interactions in the chat room right now. Your true self is wrapped up in your spirituality. Please type that in. Your true self is wrapped up in your spirituality. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nkechi. I love the way Nkechi put it. My true self is wrapped up in my spirituality. I love the way she's personality. Now she's taking responsibility. Awesome. I love that. Thank you so much. My true self is wrapped up in my spirituality. Please, I need to get your responses. I need to read your interactions. Begin to type it in. My true self is wrapped up in my spirituality. Please type it in. So you need to understand it. You need to know. So this young man was angry. The high network profile man was angry with himself, not with the young man, was angry with himself. And guess what happened? Invited him the next time and told him and said, this thing you are getting for free, it costs me something. This thing you are, this deal, okay, this business deal you are getting for free, it cost me something, and revealed some top secrets to this young man. And he said to him, he said, there is no high-profile network person you see anywhere in the world that is not spiritual. Does that make any sense to you? He says, there is no high network profile person that is not spiritual. Every successful man, name them. I don't want to call names now. They are all spiritual, all spiritual. Every high network person you know that is truly successful is highly spiritual. He said, the deal you are about to cut, I have tried to stop it. I have done everything spiritually to stop it. But I found that your level of spirituality is higher than mine. And that's why I need to get connected to your spiritual powers. I need to get connected to your spiritual powers. And the guy said, I don't belong anywhere. Because he was asking him, which cult do you belong to? Because your spiritual power is stronger than I. I've tried you. I've tried you spiritually to see what I can do with you. But I found out that I couldn't. He came out clean with it. That's when the guy understood what he was dealing with. There is no high network profile person. The man said it himself, that we have our networks in the spiritual circle. We have our networks. There is none. There is none. So they believed it. And that's why they belong to cult, one cult or the other. And you that do not belong anywhere, and you think, you just think, you just think you can just wake up one morning and just connect with your true self. Hello, excuse me, please. That is why I am not ashamed to teach this to you today. You need to be spiritual. You need to be spiritual, highly spiritual, to connect with your true self. The man said, what you are getting for free, it cost me my soul. I exchanged my soul to get this honor, to get this fame, to get this success. I exchanged my soul, but I sized you up. I saw that you are clean and there is nothing. Your soul is still in you. You are still intact and you are this successful. I need to connect to these spiritual powers that you carry. And that was it. So understand that your purpose is spiritual. And for you to truly connect with your purpose, you must be spiritual. There is nothing to shy away from this. There is nothing. I care less your level of spirituality or the faith you practice until you get to that point of being highly spiritual. You will not connect with your true self. You will not connect. All right. So my final part word on that is study, practice, and teach whatever you believe about spirituality. Study it, practice it, teach it. Whatever you believe to be spiritual to you, study it, preach it, practice it, and live it. All right. Next week, we shall be discussing how to find fulfillment and live a happy life, how to become aware of your purpose and start living your purpose, how to convert your mistakes and misfortunes to your advantage. I may be giving you the concluding part of my story next week, and then understanding the place of time in fulfilling your purpose. How do you play with time? How do you play with time in fulfilling your purpose? That's what I'll be discussing next week, God willing. And then I will also wrap up the part 3, transform yourself, transcend your limiting beliefs, all those limiting beliefs that life placed on you. We need to start dealing with all of those. Then redefine time, build your success team. You need to build success team, okay? How do you build success team? I'm going to teach all of those next week. And then find a wing to climb. Everybody needs a wing. On what wing are you climbing? Everybody needs a wing. We'll be discussing all of those next week. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being on this call. God bless you real good. I'm sure you've had value for your time. Please, what you will do for me is to share and get others to be on this next week. Thank you so much. So it's question time. If you need to connect with us, you have our contact on the screen right now, info.careerconsulting@gmail.com, info@careerconsulting.com. And then you have our WhatsApp line is 0708-096-4715. That you cannot call that line. You can only chat us on WhatsApp. And then, but you can call 0909-6532-773. And then you can connect with us on our social media handle as you see on the screen. Okay, you have at Career Consulting on Facebook and LinkedIn, and then you have at Official Career Consulting on Instagram. Then I'm going to ask that you please give us a feedback of what you have learned today. So that's Manasseh, please, Manasseh, are you on? Manasseh, are you there? Hello, Manasseh, are you there?
I'm there. I've just dropped the link.
Okay, good, thank you. So I need you to give us a feedback on what you have learned today. Give us a feedback. Let's hear from you. It will help us to improve what we are doing. And then you can also join our community, our WhatsApp community, so that you can have a follow-up on what we are doing. God bless you. Thank you so much. So click on that link that is dropped in the bio, in the chat room. Click on the link and then give us your feedback. Please, we want to hear from you. We want to get a feedback from you. Please do that right now. Everybody click that link right now. Please just click that link right now. Give us a feedback. It will help us to improve on what we are doing. Thank you, and thank you so much. All right, so we have two different links there. We have the WhatsApp link, which brings you into our community, and then we have the feedback link, which helps you to give us a feedback on what you have learned today. Thank you so much. Yes, you can ask your question. It's question time now. Ask your question. Anybody? You have any question for me? I think I need to stop recording now.